Hello folks, Fat Guy Flies RC here. We're out here at the Avon Park Aero Model Association in beautiful Avon Park, Florida. We're going to do the maiden flight, and yes, I am nervous, of the HSDJETS Cessna 182. This is a 6-cell bird. I'm taking off a low rate, which is 70% throws over 30% expo. I'll probably switch to high rates once I get one takeoff and landing. But she has shock absorbing front gear. The back main gear have a lot of flex, but they're very, very strong. I do not have the optional braking system that you can buy. Oh shoot, there's something I do have to check before we go anywhere. The motor's off, you heard it. There's a brain box or a controller box inside of this thing that if you're going to use Spectrum, then you got to make sure that it's in just the normal mode, which if you can see there, see the controller box there, it has to be slow flashing. If it's slow flashing, then you have all the control, and the controller box just controls your receivers, and it runs the control surfaces off a 2-cell, like a 2200 up to a 2300 2-cell battery, and that controls all the receiver, the control surfaces, and your flaps. And that way it frees up your main drive strictly for motor. Now, which gives you some really long flight times. All right, folks, I have stalled long enough.
Flaps up.
She feels like she flies almost like she's nose tail heavy. But a little bit of down trim. We're leaving that out. Huh.
Landing flaps. Flaps up. Time remaining.
I just got to get her trimmed out. To me, she seems like she's, yeah. Well, I'm going over the clubhouse. I really shouldn't, but not too bad.
Landing flaps.
Not too bad. I definitely need to work on the landing flaps. I've got too much down deflection, and I don't want to try to work that out while I'm flying, because I'd have to take my eyes off the plane, and that's not good. All right, let's take some of that deflection down out of that trim on the flaps, because she's still ballooning, or she's just don't like the way she is. Let me take a look. I'm going to cut it back to nothing on deflection for the flap system to get there, and I'm going to do takeoff flaps at 0 with no down elevator. See how that does. And then we're going to just do 5% down elevator for landing flaps. All right, we're going to take off in the other direction this time. See how I like that? Okay. And we're going to make sure that we stay out of the F-16 killing zone over there.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
That was with no takeoff flaps at all. No takeoff flaps. Yeah.
Landing flaps.
Flaps
up. Takeoff flaps.
She's still wanting to balloon for me.
Flaps.
So I'm going to have to take all... Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more. That's what it is. I need to put a little bit more of the deflection on the...
Flaps up. Time remaining 2 minutes.
That's a good looking plane, ain't it?
Landing flaps.
Gonna be in the grass. Once you've got that kind of momentum like that, don't try to stop her. Just let her roll. And because otherwise you're gonna flip her over, or you're gonna have a wings. Your wing's gonna strike. You know what? Let's do something. We're gonna have to have them flaps come down a little bit more. But see, whenever you have a new model like this, especially one, see them flaps, they can come down a lot more than that. So let's go down here. And we'll do 15%. All right, we're gonna do, let me do my travel here. What I'm doing is I'm going to the servo setup, and I'm gonna go to the travel for these flaps.
Flaps up. Landing flaps.
Okay. I'm going to try to get them to come down even more. There we go. All right.
Flaps up.
Let's see how she does
Flaps up.
with just takeoff flaps. I'm going to get her turned around here. Still got a minute and a half. But see, these are the things that you want to do. Especially on a Maiden, your first couple of flights, you're going to work out the trim and just figure out, you know, just how this thing reacts. All right. All right. The
Landing flaps.
okay, I like that. The takeoff flaps almost. The takeoff flaps almost
1 minute.
had her taken off on her own, which really that's what you want. Gotta be careful when you're turning like this. You don't want to turn too slow, because then you're inviting a tip stall. Now that was perfect, perfect. This bird has some weight to her, so she's going to carry her momentum. If I remember right, our landing strip here is 400 feet, and I'm going to probably use all 400 feet to land this plane. I want to start setting down a little further down, so give myself some cushion down there. We still got 46 seconds left. We're going to go in here, going to do one more correction, then we're going to try this again. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get them takeoff flaps to go down just a little bit more. Just bear with me, folks. Okay, we're going to have these takeoff flaps. We're going to put them at 10% or negative 10. And then that way, I'm looking for this plane to lift off on its own with no elevator input at all. That's what I'm looking for with a properly set takeoff flaps. Almost. Yeah, a lot better than last time.
Flaps up.
Lot better than last time. And just so you know,
20 seconds. Landing.
you can get a good 10 minutes of flying time out of this, because you got to remember, the main drive only run the motor,
20.
ESC. That's it. All your control services are being used by that two cell battery. They're taking care of all that. And by the way, when you land this plane, dead stick. I know I don't like to dead stick any plane, but I'm dead sticking this one for these landings with full down flaps, because she's got so much weight and so much speed, and she carries her momentum, you know. And she does good on grass. My next flight I'll do grass ops, but I'm going to do a grass ops flight in the afternoon when the grass is dry, because otherwise I'm just going to have an absolute mess. But that was a successful flight. Thank you so much for watching. What do you want to hear before you ever touch a plane?
Motor off.
Motor off. That's right, because you don't want to be stupid and have to go to the hospital because you were lazy. And let's just see. I flew for a full 5 minutes. Like I said, you can get a whole lot more out of this. But let's just see how much life we have left in this LiPo. Okay? How much life? Oh gosh, folks, we got 71% left after 5 minutes. Still got 71%. I could fly for probably 4 or 5 minutes. Let's take a look at our LiPo that runs the servos and everything. If I can get to it. Just bear with me, but these are the things, you know, if I go through it, you're going through it with me. And that way, you can watch me before you spend your money. Okay, 93% is still left on that 2S LiPo that runs the servos and the receiver and everything. So you can get yourself 2 good 5,000, which, by the way, the 5,000 is all the way forward firewalled. And your 2-cell battery, you can get 3 good flights out of it before you'll need to recharge it. Maybe 4, just keep an eye on it. And then a 5,000, 10-minute flight. All right, folks, well, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, we're out here at the Avon Park Aero Model Association. That is the HSDJETS Cessna 182. It's a 2-meter wingspan. It will not fit in the bed of a truck. You got to take the wings off, which is very simple. It's just like the Carbon Z Cub, our Carbon Z Cub, the Carbon Cessna 150. The only exception is these antennas, which I was very skeptical. They hold the wing in, also the functional struts, and you got 2 wing spars instead of a single big wing spar. Well, there you go, folks. Y'all have one good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget, faith, family, and friends. Bye, y'all.